think this is him working his way back, or do you think maybe he's not the player after his injury that he was?
Well, he's definitely not the player before the injury. I mean, he is not that. Now, could he get back to that? That remains to be seen. He's not showing that right now because, again, I don't see that explosive Isaiah Thomas that I seen last year in the Boston Celtics uniform.
Well, it's interesting. Bleacher Report published an article yesterday that included details about the relationship between IT and the owner, Dan Gilbert. The article cited league sources saying they often exchange calls and text messages. Ty Lue was asked in his pregame availability about how much he talks to Dan Gilbert. He said not a lot, so I guess Isaiah's got the direct line. I don't know. There was also in this Bleacher Report article saying that this was dividing the locker room a little bit or causing a problem in the locker room. Do you see that as being a problem?
I don't know why. Tristan Thompson, you got your money, $80 million. You're making, what, $16 million a year. J.R. Smith, you're making $13 million a year. Crowder, like, you guys have got paid. I want to get paid.
Right.
So
if you're IT,
I gotta make sure I secure this bag
Yep.
when I'm a free agent this offseason. So, I mean, I don't see anything wrong with this.
It's weird how Isaiah was this beloved figure in the NBA, and all of a sudden there's all this murmuring about how he's the new guys are causing tension in Cleveland, and he has got it's weird how fast that happened. Like, I don't know why anyone expected him to come back and be super healthy and productive. Now, there's other stuff. I can't speak to what's going on in the locker room, but there have been issues like this. Like Chandler Parsons and Cuban had a very close relationship that kind of annoyed the other player. Did anything like that ever happen on any of your teams?
Never. Never. I mean, it's player-owner's relationship.
I mean, look, these are all the little things, and we know this. When you're winning, none of it
Everything
matters.
is
when
great.
you're losing, the tiniest little things get exploded. And then, as we just showed you on the screen, if you guys in the control room can bring that back up, LeBron James, social media, cranked up again this morning, and he is talking about people's effort level. Maybe he's talking about himself. When you become lazy and disrespectful to those who believe in you, when you become lazy, it is disrespectful, to those who believe in you.
He's definitely not talking about himself, that's for sure.
Well, I don't.
Hey.
I'm just trying to. I'm trying to kumbaya it here. Maybe I don't know. Maybe this is a platitude, or maybe it's a target. I don't know.
If LeBron feels that way, that's a very bad sign. You're talking about a guy that's on the verge of going to 8 straight finals, and some of these guys have never even tasted a conference finals. Now you playing with the best player in the world, like. How can you be lazy playing with this guy knowing what's at stake? I don't understand.
I mean, LeBron's had some lazy defensive games this year himself. I've given up.
So he's earned that right, though.
Absolutely. It's a regular season. He can do whatever he wants. I've given up trying to read the LeBron social media
The LeBron tea leaves. Yeah, it's just interesting. It tells you where we are because LeBron posted that Arthur meme, and everyone was like, oh, my gosh, he's digging into teammates. It was during a losing stretch, but instead all the teammates kind of piled on and had fun with it and posted their own memes. I don't get the impression the mood in the Cavs locker room is to pile on and have fun with this one, but we will see. The dust has settled on the Blake Griffin trade. Doc Rivers saying they're not planning on tearing down the roster, so casting some doubts on how many other assets may go before the February 8th trade deadline. He said, we're not trading everybody away. That means they could still be trading Lou Williams and DeAndre with them. What do you think, Zach?
Yeah, I'm not. Of course, they're not going to trade everybody away. They need to field a team.
Right.
But of course, they're taking calls on all these guys. The Blake trade actually gave them, DJ and Lou were their much ballyhooed trade assets. Now they have Avery Bradley on an expiring deal, Tobias Harris on a good deal. So now they have 4 guys who are all good. You can trade 1 or 2 of them, still be a pretty good team, and get more draft picks and stuff.
Yeah, you're not trading everybody, but you're trading your main pieces away. I actually like the trade they just made for Avery Bradley and Tobias Harris. I mean, you get 2 starters, you relieve that big contract that Blake was on, and you still, consider yourself as, present yourself for a playoff run. But if there's a sexy trade for DeAndre Jordan and Lou Williams, who I've been hearing about, of course you're going to make that trade to improve your team.
Now, I do have a question. I have heard, especially since the dust is now settled on the Blake trade and everyone's had 48 hours to kind of have it seep in, people saying, oh, well, the important thing was getting off that Blake money. They had to get off that Blake money, whatever. But the way people are talking about it, they gave him the money 6 months ago. This is not like some previous regime from 3 years ago.
Yeah, but
it's just weird to me the way they're like, oh, that albatross. Well, you knew what it was going to be when you signed it to him 6 months ago.
And they probably were confident they could trade it.
And it happened.
Get some assets. But if that's actually what they were doing, that makes it a little more sneaky.
It happens all the time.
It does.
It's business.
And
people.
if I'm the players in the locker room,
right.
Have your bags back, because typically when they say that,
right?
Somebody is getting shopped away.
Right. I do want to take a minute to talk about Rasul Butler, who the LA County coroner has confirmed died overnight in a car crash. Rasul was 38 years old. He's a former 13-year NBA veteran, but those are just numbers. What everyone around the league will remember is Rasul the man. Funny, hardworking, a teammate's teammate from the moment the Heat drafted him in 2002. And no, he never had the talent to be a superstar, but he knew how to play his role. He knew how to show up every day, even when everyone else was tired. Let's put it this way. He knew how to impress Pat Riley, and Pat is not an easy man to impress. And when Rasul fell out of the league in 2012 at age 32, everyone just kind of assumed he was going to retire. But instead, he did what he always did, which was go back and work harder. He spent a season in the D-League, riding the buses, proving himself all over again, and earned his way back into the NBA, going on to play for 3 more teams. There's a lot of people in a lot of cities who are going to be mourning Butler's passing today. You can count those of us here at The Jump among them. We offer our deepest condolences to his family.